around to see me in the week. You don't have a chance to call me on the phone, yeah. And Friday night, I know I must be ready for you. Friday night, I know I must be ready for you.
There is a natural order of peace and harmony between creation and the universe. Every living organism helps to keep this delicate balance of harmony in place. However, at times, human beings intervene and upset this balance of natural harmony. We pollute the world with our anger, jealousy, envy, animosity, hatred and prejudice, with our egos and many other contemptuous feelings, with an excuse of living a better life, political domination, guarding our cultural nationalism, or being religiously exclusive. In order to maintain the balanced order, to keep peace and harmony, it is important for us to know each other. Knowing and learning about one another is the first step on the road to attaining love and peace. A practice all peacekeepers need to undertake. This is the core fundamental teachings of Fethullah Gulen, named as one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in 2013. It is from these teachings that the Turquoise Harmony Institute inspires its endeavors to contribute to meaningful, inclusive, peaceful and sustainable coexistence among all global communities. For Fethullah Gulen, love is the essence of creation. In a world which is overpolluted by evil, there is something that is left untouched and clean. That is love. If there's a beauty that has preserved its magnificence without fading, that is also love. Because of this, the Turquoise Harmony Institute was founded and established around these essential features of knowing and loving. The Turquoise Harmony Institute philosophy and activities are rooted in the tradition of promoting love and discourage against enmity. This form of tradition, along with altruistic services to humanity, finds its unique place within the concept of Ubuntu. The Turquoise Harmony Institute aims to use the culture of Ubuntu to serve the South Africa people by inviting them to come together, united in diversity. The Turquoise Harmony Institute aims to accomplish its vision by engaging with a variety of social and civic actors and inviting those from other communities to generate and share insights, thus removing barriers and obstacles of difference and build mutual understanding and trust instead. The Turquoise Harmony Institute highlights three main core problems facing humanity. 1. Ignorance. 2. Disunity. And 3. Poverty. To tackle these problems, 4 types of solutions are used as tools for change. 1. Education. 2. Dialogue. 3. Welfare. And 4. Progress. Since its founding, the Institute has established centers in Cape Town, Durban and Johannesburg. The future is in our hands at present. Our children's tomorrow depends on what we do today. We, as a global community, must challenge misconceptions with dialogue, fear with education, and animosity with tolerance, mutual understanding, and respect. It is our hope that you join us in this noble quest to build a better and brighter future for everyone, regardless of faith, race, gender, class, or ethnicity. Turquoise Harmony Institute, so we may know one another.
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Dear guests, I welcome and greet you with these wonderful words from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm your host, Nicholas Bietler, yes, Bietler with an X. Welcome to our 2020 virtual concert for refugees. We are privileged to be joined by some amazing people, both musicians and humanitarians tonight. On our program are amazing artists like Yvonne Chaka Chaka, Grammy Awards winner Wouter Kellerman, Trezor, Buscade, Wendy Oldfield, and Pops Mohammed. And from New York, we will also be joined by Ertuğrul and Aslıhan Erikşe and Fatih Bayram. They've given with open hands and open hearts and will appeal to you throughout the show to be very generous and contribute by pressing the donate button and also offer support for a project that we have here in South Africa. But without further delay, let me introduce Mr. Ayhan Çetin, the head of the Turquoise Harmony Institute, who will help bring all of us together.
On behalf of Turquoise Harmony Institute and our partners, I would like to welcome you all here tonight and thank you for taking time to be part of this second concert for refugees. We are here because right now, in crowded camps and cities around the world, there are families, Rohingya people in Bangladesh, Syrians in Lebanon, Colombians in Ecuador, Turkish and Kurdish people in Greece, who have suffered years, in some cases decades, as refugees, surviving on limited resources and who dream of someday, somehow going back to their homes. We are here because right now there are young girls like Esther, 14-year-old refugee from South Sudan, trying to find a shelter, like your daughters, who are just as precious and just as gifted, who have suffered unspeakable abuse at the hands of traffickers, girls who pray at night that someone might rescue them from their pain. There are boys fleeing the fighting in many parts of the world who are at the mercy of criminals who pack them into trucks and makeshift rafts and who die on the dangerous seas, like little Alan Kurdi from Syria, lifeless, face down on a Turkish beach in his red shirt and blue pants. We are here because right now there are mothers like Meryem, the woman in a camp in Greece who fled from Turkey not to be among 18,000 women in jail, who held on to her family photographs, heard her children cry on the phone, and who said, "My breath is my children. Every day I'm dying 10 times." We are here because there are fathers who simply want to build a new life and provide for their families, like Michael from DRC, who lost his wife and son, who managed to arrive South Africa and who says, "I still think I have a chance to make a difference in the world." This crisis is a test for our common humanity, whether we give in to suspicion and fear and build walls, or we see ourselves in another. Those girls being trafficked and tortured, they could be our daughters. That little boy on the beach could be our son or our grandson. We cannot avert our eyes or turn our backs. To slam the door in the face of these people will betray our deepest human values. Tonight, we are using the power of music to honor every single refugee and displaced person here in South Africa, across the continent and around the world. In doing this, we are saying, we see you as the full human being you are, no matter how the rest of the world view you. I would like to thank our musicians who will talk to us through a universal language which everyone can understand, and their contribution and good hearts are sincerely appreciated. And our gratitude goes to our partners, particularly Samro Foundation, Concerts SA, Nelson Mandela Foundation, and Horizon Educational Trust. Before I conclude, I want to call on each and every one of you to become an active part of promoting a narrative of possibility for refugees, a narrative in which our solidarity as humans is what drives us forward, always. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ayhan, for those deeply moving words. As our first performance tonight, we are joined by the exuberant young musicians of the award-winning Buscade. Under the guidance of the hand of Rosemary Nalden, these youngsters have performed to prestigious audiences, including Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and of course, our very own President Thabo Mbeki. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a grand performance by Buscade.
Say love me or leave me, let me be lonely. You won't believe me, but I love you only. I'd rather be lonely than happy with somebody else. You might find the nighttime the right time for kissing. Nighttime is my time for just reminiscing, regretting instead of forgetting with somebody else. There'll be no one unless that someone is you. I intend to be independently blue. Say, hey, I want your love, don't wanna borrow. Have it today to give it back tomorrow. Your love is my love, there's no love for nobody else. Happy with somebody else. You might find the nighttime the right time for kissing. Nighttime is my time for just reminiscing, regretting instead of forgetting with somebody else. There'll be no one unless that someone is you. I intend to be independently blue. Hey, I want your love, don't wanna borrow. Have it today to give it back tomorrow. Your love is my love is your love. There's no love for nobody else.
I am more than just Ikwerekwe.
Why can't I be more than just a car guard?
A pimp.
A drug lord.
A job thief. The face of cheap labor.
I am more than just a foreigner.
Why do you insist on killing my soul with your words?
Go back to your country.
Go back to your country.
You don't belong here.
Why am I not good enough for you?
Go back to your country. You don't belong here.
Why do you look at me in the eyes, with skin as black as mine, and deny me as your brother?
What about me? Look at me. Think of all the dreams that we have in common. I am Zambian. I am your colleague.
I am Congolese.
I am Malawian, and I am human.
I am South African, your sister of the soil. I am Zimbabwean, and I am your neighbor.
I am your friend.
Did you know that over 1400 years ago, the people of Medina welcomed the people of Mecca into their cities and many of them, in fact, shared half of their wealth. Now, that was in Arabia. The people of Mecca fled their hometown because of being persecuted for their religious beliefs. But this act of sharing in their wealth was a wonderful example of how you embrace what in fact are refugees. And that has always inspired me. Now today there are over 69 million refugees around the world. Many of them face serious difficulties. Many of them are not assimilated into the countries where they are refugees, and they are not welcoming. And that is why the Concert for Refugees is an important beacon. It sheds a light on the difficulties of the refugees, but very importantly, it also sheds a light to the way forward. It inspires all of us to treat refugees differently as one of us.
My message for refugees in South Africa today is always be aware of your rights and responsibilities as a refugee and use all the available sources that you have at your disposal. Always challenge yourself to be an active member of the community, even if it's just to do volunteer work. And most importantly, be proud of who you are and where you came from.
My name is Archbishop Thabo Makgoba. I join your audience today to show solidarity for refugees worldwide. Every person deserves to be treated with the dignity with which they were created by his or her deity, and that they should be respected as part of the human family. I urge you to strive to ensure that all refugees and migrant people are welcomed in our communities. May God give all those who have been displaced strength, resilience, and perseverance to build new lives for themselves and their families and their communities wherever they are. God bless you and have a meaningful Human Rights Day.
That was His Excellency Archbishop Thabo Makgoba. As you may have noticed, our concert is being endorsed by many leaders for South Africa all around the world. They're all aware of the need to support the refugees and continue to appeal to you to help us by donating to this cause. Now, if you're watching this from the social media, mainly Facebook and YouTube, please, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to join us on our main feed, which is at refugeeconcert.co.za. We now cross over to the most incredible man who has traveled on foot or by the generosity of others from Congo to South Africa. He has made a career as a leader in the music scene, a songwriter, Trésor, a multi-platinum award-winning artist, and a very, very generous man who has agreed to perform for us today. Trésor, take it from the top.
Okay. Sahara, umeliva moyo dada, baki basi tuke pamoja, nanitisha ujasiri na mapenzi nisijaona. Sondela baby, sondela sugusi balela, unekaya baby, unekaya seli kuntubele. Belongs to you. I just wanted you to know my smile belongs to you. I just wanted you to know my smile belongs to you. Sondela, baby, sondela sugusi balela, unekaya baby, unekaya seli kuntubele. Sondela baby, sondela sugusi balela, unekaya baby, unekaya seli kuntubele.
Thank you so much. My name is Trésor, and it's really great to be here today. So please go out there and support this concert with a great cause. Just a little short story. I'm myself a refugee. Actually live in Mabe system himself is a refugee. I believe no one ever want to leave home. And I've been blessed. And it's because I think I've been given a chance, and I believe as people and as a community of people here in South Africa, around Africa and the world, is that we need to be able to be very welcoming to refugees and just give a chance to the people, because I believe any empowered human being has the potential to do really, really great things, and I'm a great proof of that. I'm always going to be a refugee because I believe the story and the experience has really shaped the man that I am today, and my life experience has definitely molded the way I make my craft, and I'm very grateful that I got to be given a lot of great chances to fulfill my dream, and I really wish the very same for the next young musician or student or artist or a kid from a refugee camp in Africa who would love to be an architect or do all sort of things. And I believe everybody that do deserve a chance. And yeah, sending a love to everyone. Again, thank you so much for having us here today. And I hope, again, that you guys are going to be able to support and donate to this great cause. My name is Trésor. We'll be doing my last song.
Everything about you sets me aflame. Something about you that I can't explain. And if I just don't got you, it was long ago. never let me go. I never let me go. I never let me go. I never let me go. I never let you let me go. I never let me go. I never let me go. I never let me go. I never let you let me go. I never been too hurt, so I don't know for sure. But you back ahead, and I feel love. Something about you, I just don't know. I gotta have you feel me, so never let me go. I never let me go. I never let me go. I never let me go. I never let you let me go. I never let me go. I never let me go. I never let me go. I never let you let me go. See the moon and the stars that shine for you. Yes, it's true. You make this world beautiful. See the moon and the stars that shine for you. Yes, it's true. You make this world beautiful. Sigh. See the moon and the stars that shine for you. Yes, it's true. You make this world beautiful, yeah. See the moon and the stars that shine for you. Yes, it's true. You make this world beautiful. And everything about you sets me apart. Something about you that I can't explain. And if I was without you, it was long ago. I never had to touch you, so never let me go. I never let me go. I never let me go. I never let me go. I never let you let me go. I never let me go. I never let me go. I never let me go. I never let me go. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Today, we at the Southern African Music Rights Organization joined the Turquoise Harmony Institute, the United Nations, Amnesty International, and many people around the world in celebrating Human Rights Day. At SAMRO, we believe that music is a fundamental human right. Where there has been despair, music can restore hope, strengthen the bonds, foster social cohesion, and nation building. We protect the rights of composers and authors, both locally and internationally. Our members benefit from being able to create and perform music with people around the world without prejudice. As Africa's oldest and leading music rights organization, we can confirm that when music speaks, everyone listens. It is with this in mind that we at SAMRO extend a message of peace and unity across all nations and races. As we recover from this pandemic, we must also address our inequality. Let's end the structural discrimination and racism that has been fueled by COVID-19. We're all in this together. We encourage all to acknowledge that everyone, regardless of their origins, is deserving of their human rights. Human rights are everyone's rights. After all, there's only one race, that is the human race, and one universal language, that is the language of music. You see, because music knows no boundaries, no geographical barriers. It knows no race or social status. It just unites us all. So as you enjoy this concert, be generous with your support. Stand up for human rights.
Thank you so much to the chairman of SEMRO, Mr. Nicholas Maweni. Today, we introduce a flautist, a composer, and a producer who has 7 South African Music Awards and received a Grammy Awards for his album titled The Winds of Samsara. We are honored, privileged, and blessed to present such a musical giant from the studios in Midrand, Johannesburg, Wouter Kellerman.
Thank you. That was one of my own compositions called Wind. We are so happy to be performing for you tonight for such a special cause. There are many reasons why individuals around the world are trying to reconstruct their lives in a foreign country. While some people leave home to get a job or an education, others are forced to avoid persecution or abuses of human rights. Millions are fleeing armed wars or other disasters or violations. Some no longer feel comfortable and may have been abused for their race, gender, sexuality, or political beliefs, for instance, only because of who they are or what they do or do not believe. Empathy is key to understand these people and their challenges. I think we can all be part of the solution for a better world. This next song is called Sido Maimio. Enjoy.
name is Pusiso. When I grow up, I want to be fixing my father's car. My name is Sandile. When I grow up, I want to be a policeman. Hello, my name is Emmanuel. I come from Zimbabwe. When I grow up, I want to be a manager. My name is Ashlanti. I come from Congo and I come from Zimbabwe. When I
3 to 6 started 12 years ago. We've always had social justice as an agenda at Sacred Heart College. And so the brothers challenged us to look beyond our school, to see where the need was and to do something about that. I met with a Brazilian brother who described a school he had been at where in the morning they had a fee-based school, in the afternoon they had a fee-free school, and in the evening they had an adult education program. And we thought that was a great idea. And so we got together and we decided to start a project to do something about migrant children and undocumented children who weren't able to get into schools because of xenophobia, language barriers, bureaucracy, poverty, really kids in need. So, teaching children, employing refugee teachers, advocating for the rights of the kids, and building their resilience and their social emotional strength.
It has made a great difference in my life, isn't it? I came here without a job. Now I have a job. And I'm working with these children who are like, most of them, they are poor. So I'm experiencing a lot of things. I'm learning a lot of things. And I learn to be, maybe to appreciate people. I learn to love.
3 to 6 changed my life because it's a good education, taking care of us, and they teach us nice stuffs.
My life really changed because I had to enter into a new environment where I'm teaching children from different areas, just like me. Because where I've been working, you can work with other people who can select you that you are a foreigner. But here I'm feeling that we are the same. Even with the learners which I'm teaching, so I'm in a good environment.
It makes a difference in my life because I did not know that when I came in this school it would be like the other schools where they hit, they don't have fun, they don't think, the teachers, I think the teachers are rude and they hit children. But here it's different. It's not like the other schools.
But I also think that one of the most important things that the project does is it gives them back a childhood. You know, the traumas that they've experienced, the violence that they have seen, the poverty and the hunger that they have experienced, the kinds of daily stress that they live with. These are things that unless they came to 3 to 6, there would be no escape from any of that. When you see them playing on the fields, when you see them interacting in the classes, you see children who are able to just be children again. And that's the gift of the 3 to 6 project. It gives back a childhood to children.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Whichever time zone you're in, we're glad that you're joining us from the comfort of your own home. And to those of us in studio, welcome. When we were first approached as Concerts SA to engage with the issues of refugees and people that have been displaced, Ayan and his team from the Turquoise Harmony Institute asked us, what should we do? We didn't know what to do, but music is what we do. And we were fully aware that music is like this little eraser that can erase borders and boundaries between people. During this pandemic, there are different approaches by politicians, but by the public and by the artist, the one approach that's uniform is that we need to start deleting the boundaries. We need to erase the borders, and we need to find solutions together. And that's what the arts does. That's what music does. There's a song by Vusi Mashlasela, one of my favorite songs, Silang Mabele, and it's a song about crushing the corn. It simply means going to work. It's a folk song, a traditional song that he used to sing when he was growing up. And he took it to another level when he said that this song needs to be used in unity to fight poverty all over the world. And it's a song about coming together. That's what the arts does. That's what artists do. And that's what we're trying to do with this concert. There's another artwork, which is one of my favorite artworks, and it's the Song of the Pick by Gerard Sokoto. And it shows the dignified plight of street laborers working in unison under the watchful eye of the white foreman. And in the postcard that was crudely stuck in different places or pinned all over the place, it spoke to the plight of the workers. It spoke to the plight of the poor. And that's what artists do. So to speak beyond the boundaries, to speak to and through the politicians and the policymakers, and to speak to you, the arts have a way of touching the soul. And for us as Concerts SA, it's also, during this period, we have been starved of live music. But what does live music do for us? When you see an artist perform, a real musician actually perform, and you can sense it, and they can touch your soul, they can fire your imagination, and that recorded music simply cannot do. It can connect with the parts of you, the parts of the audience, the deeply intimate spaces that can only be replicated by live. So as Concerts SA, we are supporting this project to get you all to start thinking about how do we live again? How do we live as human beings? How do we appreciate the rights of others that makes us human? So thank you and welcome, and continue to support this cause.
Dear guests, we now turn to the tragic family story from the Madden family. And then, of course, it is going to be followed by a beautiful song from Neil Solomon. Please enjoy it, and I have something very personal to share after the words.
We couldn't leave the cabin for months. Things were not the same. My parents were not like they were before. They seemed sad and worried. It was no fun. It was so boring. My dad was the only one who could rarely leave home. One night, he came back with great news. We were going on a boat trip. My sister and I were so excited. We could barely sit still. Although my mom and dad were smiling with us, they looked nervous. Even though our boat wasn't quite what I had imagined, it was nice. The sea was so deep and beautiful. I knew my dad was a teacher, but I didn't know he was also a captain. He was steering our boat. As we got closer to the island, it looked brighter and more beautiful. All of a sudden, a strong wind and waves came and started to rock our boat. We were scared and huddled together. Everything got dark. We were free. We were all finally free and happy.
I want to dedicate this song to everyone who were forced to leave their homes and died before seeing it again. It is particularly dedicated to Mrs. Esma Uladag, who passed away in Greece after fleeing from the persecution in Turkey. Esma Uladag is a 35-year-old woman who managed to escape from Turkey to Greece along with her 3 children. She passed away of cerebral bleeding and financial difficulties just 6 months after they took refuge in Athens. The song is called Homeland, a song for the refugees. Out of the dark, when the dawn is breaking, I lie awake and my soul is aching. That's when I hear my ancestors calling. In the dark, I hear the mountains falling. Strange birds singing, strange birds singing. Take me back to my homeland. Take me back to where I belong. Take me back to my homeland. Take me back to where I come from. Nobody's listening, nobody cares. Somebody's whispering about the years. It's so strange as the years go by, how one becomes invisible and how time flies. Strange birds singing, strange birds singing. Take me back to my homeland. Take me back to where I come from. Take me back to my homeland. Take me back to where I belong. strange birds singing. Take me back to my homeland. Take me back to where I come from. Take me back to my homeland. Take me back to where I belong. Thank you. Pops. Thank you.
Hello, I am Sakina Kamwendo, and I would like to encourage and invite everyone worldwide to heed the call to open our hearts and minds to refugees across the world. And let us be the first in line in extending a helping hand, compassion, love, understanding, and empathy wherever we can. And let us stand in solidarity with and extend warmth and kindness. And may all refugees feel safe, accepted, and welcome in all our communities worldwide. Let us celebrate with the universal language of music through the 2020 concert for refugees, and may God continue to protect and bless all refugees through their struggles, and I pledge my helping hand in this regard.
Greetings from the Nelson Mandela Foundation. As we host this event virtually, we are reminded of the moment that we are in. A moment where all of us should focus our energies on ensuring that we embrace those who need that embrace. Refugees are one community that is vulnerable, most vulnerable at this time. We want to remind ourselves that Madiba and many others had to travel through the world to ensure that they bring hope and that they could deliver something tangible back home in South Africa in the anti-apartheid struggle. At this moment, let's focus all our energies to ensuring that refugees who need us most also get to embrace, feel the embrace, and also feel our love. I send you all the best at this moment, knowing that on this day, which is a day where we observe international human rights, we all should then remind ourselves, each one of us matter. Each one of us should enjoy the human rights, universal human rights that are declared by the United Nations. I send you my love from the Nelson Mandela Foundation and wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Every day, everywhere in the world, people make one of the toughest choices in their lives. Leaving their homes in search of a safer, better existence. The feeling of leaving the place where they grew up has been experienced by most people in the world, including myself. Perhaps they will only travel as far as the next town or village, but for certain individuals, sometimes for a short time, but sometimes forever, they may need to leave their country entirely. We need to see the world through the eyes of these people for a better world. Be the hope for them, for a better world. Thank you, guys.
Well, a big thank you to all our speakers, and most importantly, Mr. Neil Solomon, for that very, very touching song called Take Me Back to My Homeland. Well, folks, I promised to give you a glimpse of my experience with refugees. Now, my wife is from Turkey, and we've just been blessed with a beautiful daughter, and her name is Latita, which means let it shine, and that is my language in Xhosa. Now, my in-laws were persecuted from Turkey in the year 2016, and they had to leave all their relatives from Turkey, and my mother-in-law had left her 14-year-old son, her mother, her sisters, and most importantly, her community and her homeland. And now they're here in South Africa, making sure that they are contributing to this spirit of Ubuntu that we have shown them in South Africa. And I hope that everyone within the fraternity of the world will show the very same attitude to every refugee that they find in their home country. Now, folks, enough about all the emotional stuff. We have a very grand gentleman here. I call him Papa. Mr. Pops Mohammed, as you know, he has made 37 studio albums. And these 37 studio albums, not only in South Africa, but Copenhagen, New York, Germany, Dubalantonina, there's so many other countries that this fine gentleman has recorded or pre-recorded all of his studio albums. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you an award winning from the South African Music Award, Mr. Pops Mohammed.
To be here tonight performing for you guys out there, wherever you are in the world. It don't matter who you are, whatever you do, just remember that refugees are human beings just like us. When we celebrated the year 2000, we thought amazing things were going to happen because we're now in the 21st century. I mean, when you talk about the 21st century, we think that we should have been settled by now. But 2 years ago, when I performed at the Refugee Concert, I made a speech of saying how bad things are for refugees, not only in South Africa, but all over the world. I mean, I'm talking about people in Turkey, for instance, 18,000 women still imprisoned. And this is the 21st century, guys. I mean, what's going on in this world? Is this world pregnant and giving birth to bad things all the time? It's high time that the world get together and stand together as one, as brothers and sisters, and please pay homage and respect refugees because they're just like us. You could be a refugee anytime, at any given moment of time, you could find yourself a refugee. We shouldn't think that we're safe all the time. You've got to look at the world through the eyes of a refugee to actually understand what it is like to be a refugee. Sometimes when I travel abroad, I feel like a refugee myself, the way you get treated sometimes by some ignorant people abroad. So you immediately feel that you're a refugee, or they look at you as a refugee. So all these things, these experiences that I've had with refugees, feeling as a refugee abroad, and coming back to South Africa and reading in the newspapers of refugees, especially in Turkey, my heart goes out to those people. You know, I don't know what to say. I wish I could do something, but if we all can stand together as one in one voice and put pressure on these countries who are oppressing their own people, you know, forcing the people out of their countries, fleeing to different countries and becoming refugees. And of course, it's not nice to be a refugee in any country in this world because there are people who look at you differently. So my very first song that I'll be playing tonight, in fact, this whole set of mine is dedicated to refugees, not only in South Africa, all around the world, Turkey, you just name it. This is for you and for the people out there watching this concert. Please think about it, that we are one. The world is very small, it's getting smaller and smaller, and it's high time that we look at each other as one, because we are one. Because we're only living in one planet. And if we destroy this planet, we've got nowhere else to go. So guys, please, let's stand together as brothers and sisters. Thank you. Nene, nene, nene, hayo. Welcome to the future. Let us take a journey into the mystical past, where you shall find your future. A future of love, peace, and understanding, where we will give our love and respects to the unborn babies of tomorrow. I'm talking about the Nelson Mandelas of the world, the Dalai Lama, Mahatma Gandhi, Joe Slovo, Helen Suzman, Steve Biko, Credo Motwa, Albertina Sisulu, Malcolm X, Maya Angelou, Harry Tubman, Quincy Jones. You see, they stand for what you and I could be. Stretching before me like a galaxy of stars into entities of the unknown. For you will never know where you're going to unless you know where you're coming from. For you are now a child of a destiny. And I would love to welcome you to your own 21st century. A 21st century filled with love, peace, understanding, tranquility, and beautiful mystical experiences. But I also believe one day when I die, I shall become a dream. A dream of the past, the present, and the future. One day when I die, I shall become a dream. I'd love to become your dream. A dream of the past, the present, and the future. I'd love to become a dream filled with refugees, freed at last. I'd love to become a dream filled with peace, tranquility for their future, and returning back to their countries, homelands. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Amazing performance. Let's give it another round of applause from
Dear
Mr.
friends.
Pops Mohammed.
I'm going to leave two thoughts before you. The first one is of a little family of 3 people who had to flee their home country into Africa, from Asia into Africa, because the ones in power were
Very interesting history. She was a teacher by profession, but because of the music bug, she decided, no, I want to try this universal language called music. And now today, she's going to grace us and bless us with her sweet vocals, and of course, with her partner in crime, Mr. Greg Georgiades. Please enjoy the performance.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be invited here today, be amongst you performing at this fantastic event. We would like to dedicate this performance to Dawn Lindbergh, a great South African. On a pale blue dot, here we are, floating somewhere under a million stars. On this pale blue dot, I'll keep loving you from my heart on a blanket in my yard. And every time I see a shooting star, it reminds me of my insignificance. 'Cause if the light that shone, it could have come from a star that has been and gone, I could have lived a million lives since. This pale blue dots that has been around for a fraction of time since this business began. On this pale blue dots, I'll keep loving you from my mind in this garden under the sun. And every time I see a shooting star, it reminds me of my significance. 'Cause if the light that shone, it could have come from a star that has been and gone, I could have lived a million lives since. This pale blue dot has got me mesmerized, and how I wish that everyone on this pale blue dot could just realize that is what they are standing on. And every time I see a shooting star, it reminds me of my significance. If the light that shone, it could have come from a star that has been and gone, I could have lived a million lives since. This pale blue dot just keeps on turning, and so will you, and so will I. On this pale blue dot, keep on loving you. From my soul on the grass, my soul on the grass, my soul on the grass, under the sky.
Thank you very much.
And acid rain keeps falling down, burning holes deep in the ground, and the tears, they roll down my face. It's like the acid rain pace, it can't stop, but it can be stopped. It's a deadly rain that can be topped. Outside my window I see the rain. I watch your eyes, you go to sleep, breathing so strongly and breathing so deep. The fantasy is to turn the page. I wish that we were born in another age, and I know what's really going on, but the answers, you know, I can't find. And I wonder, I really wonder, will we ever see summertime? As the rain keeps falling down, burning holes into the ground, and the tears roll down my face, and it feels just like acid rain. Daybreak, night, and come to all. Pollution in the air, and acid rainfall down to the ground. breaking all laws, rules its own terms, destruction its cause, fatal attraction, a deadly measure, destroy the motherland and all its treasure. We think of life, we think of love, a message from the sky. I wonder if a child that dreams has images and features of pretty things, and when he wakes, I pray he sees wondrous vision, not only memories, and I know what's really going on. The answers, you know, I can't find, and I wonder, really wonder, will we ever see summertime as the rain keeps falling down, burning hole into the ground, and the tears roll down my face, and it feels just like as it rains. I really wonder. It makes me wonder. It won't stop that pouring. As the rain keeps falling down, burning holes into the ground, and the tears roll down my face, and it feels just like acid rain keeps falling down, burning holes into the ground, and the tears roll down my face, and it feels just like acid rain. Thank you very much. That last song was a song I wrote in 1989. This one's a song I wrote last year, 30 years later. Some of the people in this room are younger than this song. The song is to You. And then I've been thinking a lot about home, particularly in the last 2-3 years. What exactly does home mean? Is it somewhere in your head? Is it the walls you live within? Is it the land that we share, this earth? I believe it's all in everything. It's home. I'd like to thank Greg and Pops for joining me tonight. And thank you everybody out there for listening in and being a part of this amazing event. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sun on my face, I close my eyes, and there I am. A smile in the eye, it pours like you just don't give a damn? If it's a place within the walls in which we live within, if it's the earth we share in, it's all and everything. It's home. You put your writing on the wall, your home, and your hands into the soil. Home. It's everything and all. This is your home. How can it be in this reality? All I see is how many have so few, and so few have so many things to do. Sorry for, but most of all, I abhor a hungry child in my home. If it's a place within walls in which we live within, if it's the earth sharing, it's all and everything. It's home. Put your writing on the wall, and your hands into the soil. It's everything I know. This is your home. If you can find that place to lay your hat and call your own, whichever way you're going, whichever way the river's flowing, whichever way the wind is blowing, it'll blow you home. It'll blow you one foot in front of the other. Help me know, my mother. Reach out and hold my brother's hand. If it's a place within walls in which we live within, if it's the earth we share in, it's all and everything. It's home. Put your writing on the wall, and your hands into the soil. It's everything I know. This is your home. Your home. Put your writing on the wall, and your hands to the soil. Everything I know. This is your home. Your home. This is your home. This is your home. This is your home.
Thank you very much.
A big round of applause one more time for our guests all the way from Western Cape, and most important, Ops Mohammed, Miss Wendy Oldfield, and Mr. Greg Georgiades. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Folks, please don't forget to donate, because we must never forget the cause of today's very important event, which is to donate those monies, okay? I think it starts from as little as 10 Rand 50 Rand, and of course 100 Rand. This will serve a greater cause, and this cause is to support, as you saw, those children who are from the program called 1, 2, 3. Okay, so please don't forget that. Now, folks, we have very, very special guests all the way from the United States of America and New Jersey, New York. We have Mr. Fatih Bayram, who's a songwriter, a composer, and a sound technologist. And most importantly, we have Mr. Ertuğrul Erikşi with his wife, Aslihan Merikşi. Both of them are musicologists, and the interesting thing about Miss Aslihan, she has a PhD in musicology at the University of Fatih in Turkey. And Mr. Ertuğrul is actually a Turkish songwriter, composer, and an instrumentalist. Please enjoy their performance. Thank you.
Part of this important event. Music travels all over the world, but more importantly, travels from heart to heart. Here comes Uzun İnce Bir Yoldayım. Tell me, wise men, why do the winds blow? Tell me, wise men, where do the winds go? The winds tell me they know their way, bringing the changes from day to day. North turns to south, east turns to west.
Dear friends, the first song was an Anatolian folk song, Uzun ince bir yoldayım, which was about journey in the life, in the world. The next one is again a Sufi tune from Turkish Sufi culture. Hope you enjoy it.
Çekemezsin demedim mi? Bu bir rıza lokmasıdır, yiyemezsin demedim mi? Güzel aşık çevrimizi çekemezsin demedim mi? Bu bir rıza lokmasıdır, yiyemezsin demedim mi? Demedim mi, demedim mi? Gönül sana söylemedim mi? Demedim mi, demedim mi? Gönül sana söylemedim mi? Bu bir rıza lokmasıdır, yiyemezsin demedim mi? Bu bir rıza lokmasıdır, yiyemezsin demedim mi? Yemeyenler karnını açar, gözlerinden kanlar saçar. Bu birdendir gelir geçer, uyamazsın demedim mi? Yemeyenler karnını açar, gözlerinden kanlar saçar. Bu birdendir gelir geçer, uyamazsın demedim mi? Demedim mi, demedim mi? Gönül sana söylemedim mi? Demedim mi, demedim mi? Gönül sana söylemedim mi? Bu birdendir gelir geçer, uyamazsın demedim mi? Bu birdendir gelir geçer, uyamazsın demedim mi? Aşıklar harabat olur, Hakk'a
songs reach your hearts and lifts up your spirits despite what's going on all over the world these days.
Be safe and stay in peace, no matter what the conditions might be.
Goodbye.
Dear friends, I'm going to leave two thoughts before you. The first one is of a little family of 3 people who had to flee their home country into Africa, from Asia into Africa, because the ones in power were wanting the life of the young boy. That's the story of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, who had to flee from Nazareth because King Herod was nervous about his holding on to his position as king when he was visited and told that a new king had arisen in Israel. He wanted to get hold of this king and eliminate him. That's the first image. The second one is much more recent, and it is in regard to our own political leaders here in South Africa during the struggle against apartheid. How many of them either went to prison here in South Africa or they fled and went as refugees into the neighboring countries and further afield. And they did this here in order to continue the struggle to make sure that South Africa would one day be free. Their dream at the time was that everyone who was in South Africa would feel welcomed, would feel like a brother or a sister, and therefore would be part and parcel of our life. Unfortunately, we've had a number of incidents where those who have come from other African countries have been seen as, I suppose, a threat, maybe as enemies, but certainly there's been a great deal of hostility towards them. Yet they have come here to South Africa for much the same reason as Jesus, Mary and Joseph went to Egypt. And long, long before that, Jacob and his sons went to Egypt from Israel. So this phenomenon of people having to go somewhere else to find safety, to find a livelihood, is something that's deep, deep within our human history. In fact, I think it leads us to believe that it's part of the challenge of being human is to find the best place where you can live, the best place to do what God put us on this earth to do. And that has been so wonderfully expressed recently by Pope Francis in his encyclical Fratelli Tutti, which means brothers all. And in this encyclical, this letter to all the faithful of the Catholic Church and to all people of goodwill, Pope Francis has this wonderful thought. Let us all be brothers. Let's have a fraternity that makes us all look at each other as we are brothers and sisters. And look, if we cannot do that, at least let us have a social friendship. But we're not going to regard anybody as an enemy because they come from somewhere where we don't know what life is like in that country. So it is quite ironic that just as the world is celebrating World Refugee Day on the 1st of December, we should be having these kind of situations in South Africa where refugees, asylum seekers, undocumented people are feeling extremely threatened. World Human Rights Day on the 10th of December is another significant date when we should all be looking at each other and seeing how we can really treat each other as fellow human beings, as friends, and even better still, as brothers and sisters.
Well, folks, we almost reached the end of our program. Hopefully there at home you have a great, great show. Now, we have a very interesting performance from our very own, the Princess of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the most amicable voice, the most amicable alto who has captured South Africa for decades and decades. I present to you the lovely, the generous, the loving Mama Yvonne Chaka Chaka.
Adventure. We know the 10th of December is the day for those that really need us the most, Human Rights Day. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you who is watching this show and ask you kindly to dig deep down your pockets, if you may. I know times are hard, but you know what? Caring, giving is caring, is it? Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring and giving is loving, and we can all be there for one another. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this show, and I know that you would love the music. I'd love to sing you one of my favorite songs from the man who each and every one of us love, who taught us love, who taught us peace, and did things selflessly. The song is called Amazing Man. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm singing this one with Lady Smith, Black Mambazo, and the Soweto Gospel Choir.
He's an amazing man, given to us by God. He taught us to love, be free and forgive. His name is Nelson Holy Shasha Madiba Mandela. All the people in the world would give anything to touch you. Even those who called him terrorist never believed he could rule. He walked up with a smile and embraced his tormentor. He's the man of the world. Yeah. Holy Shasha Madiba Mandela. You and I will have to learn to live together. Now you and I will have to learn to work together. He's a teacher, he's a leader, and a servant of the people. He's the greatest advocate. You and I will have to learn to live together. Now you and I will have to learn to work together. He's a teacher, he's a leader, and a servant of the people. He's the greatest advocate. Thank our leaders and celebrate Africa. Baba Tambo, Baba Sisulu, Baba Biko, Baba Lutuli, Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, Jomo Kenyatta, Edward Luganda, Samora Machel, Nelson Mandela. I say thank our leaders and celebrate Africa. Baba Sobukwe, Kenneth Kaunda, Petrus Lumumba, Archbishop Tutu, Helen Johnson, Sharon McClinke, Winnie Mandela, Ellen Sirleaf, Rasta Machel, our Nelson Mandela.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, each and every society is judged by how they treat their children. The children are our future. We need to love them. Remember, when they come into this world, they don't choose where they are born. They find themselves here. So let's give support to our women and our children. And by the way, we do love our men because we can't make it without them. But our men have to know to love us, to protect us, to guard us, and to be there for us. My next song is called Pardon Me. The people who come to your country, do not turn them away. Do not wish them away. Just open your door, because you don't know what might happen to you. Pardon Me is my next song.
Hold my hand, be my friend.
don't you ever close the door. Open your house, open your heart, open your hands. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We implore and we say, let us go back to that human kindness, human rightness, where when one is sent to us from afar, we welcome them, we feed them, we protect them. That is the right of a human to another human. So on this day, as we commemorate International Human Rights Day, we're saying everybody rights matters. So let us remember, caring is sharing. That is the African way. One Africa.
It's gone in. A third goal for Australia. And a deserved goal to Craig Foster.
Bahrain wants to defend me. All of Australia is with you. Be strong.
I would thanks to Australia, and it's amazing to see all the people here.
Hi everyone, Craig Foster here, former Australian Football International and human rights advocate. I want to congratulate the Turquoise Harmony Institute and Nelson Mandela Foundation for your Refugee Concert 2020. It couldn't be more timely. You know, the number of displaced people and asylum seekers around the world is increasing year on year for a number of reasons, whether it's from the various forms of persecution, which are growing everywhere, from conflict, or indeed from climate migration and displacement of people from droughts and floods and other things. We've got people seeking asylum to become a refugee all around the world. It's about time we all stepped up, and that includes my country here, Australia, is not doing a great job at it at all. We've got hundreds of people still locked up offshore and onshore here in Australia, and we're running campaigns at the moment to see people get to freedom. You know what? We want to see everyone get to freedom around the world. We just need to put ourselves in their shoes. Imagine for a moment what it must be like to have to flee persecution, leave our country, leave our friends, leave our family, leave everything that we've built, everything that we have in our lives behind, to have to strike out into a new world. So please help those who are seeking asylum and refugees around the world. And once again, I congratulate you all on a wonderful initiative.
Hosting refugees is a humane thing to do. Refugees add to the fabric of our society. Global diversity, they also contribute to economic productivity and economic activity and development. They make us all human by bringing out the kindness in all of us and the human solidarity that should drive the world in the 21st century.
Well, folks, it's time to love you and leave you. But I remember in 2019, during the Refugee Concert, we had Umama Yvonne Chaka Chaka and Umama Sibongile Khumalo. They had hats on and they were busy giving it to the crowd. And guess what? The crowd was busy putting everything that they had in their disposal, in their pockets, and they were putting it in their head. Now, today I urge you, from that button that you see up there that's written donate, please put anything that you can be able to give from the bottom of your heart, and I know it's for a very, very good cause. Well, from me, Nicholas Bickler, it has been a fine evening, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to the Turquoise Harmony Institute for making this a grand program, and of course to other sponsors at large. Well, folks, it has been a fine and fantastic evening. I would leave you with the beautiful group called the Bosque, and we are going to give you nice South African marimba dances, and please enjoy the rest of your evening. From me, Nicholas Bickler, I love you.
Ayan, we want to raise money for this community, right? I need a hat, somebody. I need a hat. We love you! So we want to see real money, not just, this is my commitment. We
you, South Africa. Upstairs, upstairs. Don't forget them.
Yes.
Get a hat
And
up
on
there.
the sides, on the sides. Where's your
Tina.
hat?
Tina,
Yay.
go and take the hat
Yay.
upstairs.
We do it like this.
It's okay.
That's how we do. It's a pity. It's a pity my dress.
Oh, my sister wants to bring more.
This is awesome.
Rina, please come on stage. Pops, please come on stage. We're going to sing you one of the most beautiful songs in South Africa.
Thank you. Thank you. Nangomuso.
And remember, we are one people.
Nina gena tuga kuti
igqirha lendlela kuthiwa ngugo igqirha lendlela bo lendlela haya ngugo kuthiwa ne igqirha lendlela kuthiwa ngugo asebeqhubele kithaba sebeqhubele kithaba kuthiwa ngugo asebeqhubele kithaba bo sebeqhubele kithaba kuthiwa ngugo asebeqhubele kithaba sebeqhubele ha kuthiwa ngugo asebeqhubele kithaba bo sebeqhubele kithaba kuthiwa ngugo igqirha lendlela bo lendlela kuthiwa ngugo kuthiwa ne igqirha lendlela kuthiwa ngugo Sebekubele ha kuthiwa ngugo asebekubele kithaba sebekubele kithaba kuthiwa ngugo asebekubele kithaba sebekubele kithaba kuthiwa ngugo asebekubele kithaba sebekubele kithaba kuthiwa ngugo kuthiwa ne sebekubele kithaba kuthiwa ngugo asebekubele kithaba sebekubele kithaba kuthiwa ngugo asebekubele kithaba bo sebekubele kithaba kuthiwa ngugo kuthiwa ne